Hello, StarCraft Nation. This is your host, Venerati, bringing you yet another 1v1 in between Huck and the SjoW. This is the third round of the best of 7 of the King of the Hill NVIDIA gosu gamers. And so, of course, we have the SjoW spawning as the Terran in the south. He's red, if you couldn't tell. And we have Huck, as always, spawning as the Protoss. And so, basically, Huck, unfortunately, hasn't really been doing too well so far in this series. He's 2 games down to SjoW, and, I mean, it is a best of 7, so he has a lot of room to play with still. And it's going to be interesting to see whether Huck adapts his play style, because we've seen Huck basically play the same way every single time. And there we go again. Huck singing out... Singing? He sings. He's not a bard. He is sending out his probe to scout the SjoW and basically see what the SjoW is doing. The SjoW, as always, dropping down a supply by his base and actually dropping it into the ground, waiting for that uppercut. And we have another duel in between the probe and the SCV, as always, and they're actually swapping off here. The SjoW is well aware of Huck's shenanigans with the probe recharging its shield early on. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of damage the probe ends up doing overall. I mean, you know, we have another SCV, half health. We have one up here, and this probe has taken no damage yet. So props to Huck for really micromanaging his probe in this early game, because you really don't have much to do early on. I mean, yeah, you drop down a gateway, and yeah, you pop out some probes, but really, I mean, he's really doing a lot early on, and that's a really good... He's utilizing his Protoss abilities to the max, which, of course, being the programmer that he is, I guess it's kind of expected. Also, on a side note, while this probe runs around, I can't decide which mic to use. Last game I casted with my stand mic without a sock. I know that's really ghetto, but I'm sure you got a lot of puh and a lot of barracks and, you know, all that kind of jazz interference. So I need to know what you prefer, because with the sock on, it's really quiet, I've seen. So I could boost that later on, you know, blah, 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 but definitely want to see what y'all think about it. Which one is better? And, of course, we see this Marine taking a lot of damage early on. Just like Metalopolis, this Marine might go down. I mean, this probe can chase this Marine down and basically make him his you-know-what. And the probe is going to run away. And, actually, this Zealot... not attacking that same SCV, so that Zealot really could have killed an SCV, made his life worthwhile. Kills one, and he gets another, so he does go down, and he does kill 100 mineral worth of units, so that Zealot paid for itself. I don't know where that probe went. Did it die as well? I don't know. We have another Zealot running into the base, so the SjoW is still under pressure from the Protoss, and we have one SCV go down, and this Zealot, wow. This Zealot walked all the way around his Marine his Marine enemy to try to get to this weak Marine and died. So, not really paying off there. He only, yeah, deficit of 50. So, let's look at the losses right here. And, wow, actually, the SjoW is in the negative for losing units. So, maybe it was worth it. And let's go ahead and look back at the income. And we do actually see 2 racks coming out with 2 tech labs, and we see the concussive shell and the stim pack coming on. So we're probably going to see early Marauder. Of course, we have 2 Marauders right now in the production tab. We do see that right there, and we see a robotics facility coming in. So we have 1 solidified gateway and 1 cybernetics that is chrono boosting out the warp gate technology. So he actually went gateway, core, gateway, robotics facility, and this has been like a really key feature of his build, is its adaptability. Unfortunately, he's been doing the same thing every time within this series, so it's going to be interesting to see if he does try to change it up a little. Now, we do have a Sentry and 2 Zealots coming up here, and, well, up here, and we do have the SjoW bringing up his army, and that Marine is going to die, and the nice shield in there separating these Marines. Now, these Zealots are going to be able to back away without dying, and their shields are going to be able to recharge, so basically, no harm done, a little bit of damage. Well, he actually lost 21, wow. No math for me today. He lost 41 damage, 41 hit. And we do see some more ramp action. Another shield coming out, so that Marauder is going to die. And they did lose a Zealot that time, so not too bad of a trade-off there for the show. But obvious that any sort of early push is going to be ineffective due to those force fields. I do keep calling them shields, but, you know, whatever. They do look like that for all of those Halo fans out there. Never played Halo, but... Wait, I take that back. I did play Halo, but I don't play it anymore. So we do see an early expansion coming down for the show, and it's going to be interesting to see whether he shifts into full macro mode or if he tries to keep the pressure up. Go ahead and see the Army tab. He is below Huck by 8, but as far as unit strength, they're pretty much on par. And wow, yeah, the show is actually pretty far behind resource-wise. He is down 5 probes. Darren's don't get probes. We're not talking about. He is down 5 SCVs, but he is able to bring the mule out to level out that income tab. So yeah, we're gonna see the mules really kind of keep everything on par with each other. And we do see Huck bringing on a lot more gas than the show is. So we actually have a force coming out from Huck and a lot of Zealots, 2 Stalkers here to try to throw down some DPS and a lot of sentries. Oh, and we do actually see them coming there, and they are going to focus down the barracks. So I don't really know how I feel about that, but we do have these force fields coming down, making to where if these units do want to retreat, they cannot. And we do see the Marauders going down to the Zealots. The Zealots soaking up the damage, and the sentries and the Stalkers doing a lot of damage, but they are not able to kill off the entirety of the force. And the Terrans do come off of their stem, so they are not really able to chase down anymore. They are able to take down 3 sentries, so leaving Huck with 1 sentry and the original 2 Stalkers. The Stalkers actually one. That Stalker does have 2 kills. That sentry does have 2 kills. So he is killing these rocks, beating his frustration out on the rocks. We have another bunker going down. Now, those bunkers are great. So cheap, they suck up so much damage, 400 HP with armor, so really always worth that to throw down a bunker. And heck, if you don't end up using it, you can always reclaim it and get 100% of your minerals back. So we do see that being occupied by some damaged units. Curious to see whether the show is actually going to bring out any medevacs. We do see a factory going down and a starport, so we might see some medevacs going down, and we have a reactor coming from the factory, so I'm going to guess that they're actually going to do a hot swap, and I don't know if the factory is actually going to play a part in this, because I do not believe he's actually going to bring any Hellions coming into the field, because it's really not going to do anything except for and we actually do see the switch going here, so we're not going to see any sort of Hellion harass coming on. And of course, this observer always sitting there, the silent sentinel, able to keep Huck in the know and basically let him know what's going on with the forces. Now, the Marines do have the shields now, and we don't see any sort of... Do we see any upgrades coming for them? No, we don't. But we do see Thermal Lance, and we do see Colossus coming out. So it's going to be interesting to see how Huck uses his Colossus against this Bio Ball right here. Because, I mean, right now, the Huck is the Huck. Everybody is the tonight, right? So we see Huck, you know, he does have his second Colossus coming out here, and we do have Zealots on the field to soak up a lot of damage, and we actually have these Zealots coming out here to kill this factory. Now, this is great use of the factory as a scout, because this factory has 1250 HP, so, you know, it's going to be hard to knock that down out of the sky, and we do have the show moving up to support the factory with 2 medevacs, so he can stem without any really fear of repercussions softening up his own units afterwards. And we do see them loading up with the medevac, so we're going to see if the show is going to try to drop into this mineral mine over here and try to cripple Huck's economy. Yet again, we've seen that in the last 2 games, Huck has really suffered from the abuse of the show's economy raids. And, of course, this factory is being abused by the Stalkers, and we do see the medevac coming up here, and Huck is doing a good job of multitasking here, keeping the Stalkers on this medevac, denying that drop, and also killing this factory, because this factory is actually going to burn. You know, embers are falling from embers. Yeah, well, sparks are flying, and you do see the factory and a medevac, and a... Wow, the show left a medevac and a marauder sitting out there in the wind, so... 2 free kills for Huck right now. Now, The SjoW is occupying the middle ground right now, so he is trying to assert his dominance in the field right now and hiding behind here and keeping one Marauder for a line of sight. So, you know, so Huck is not really able to see that much, even though he does have an observer out there. And if he chooses to move out here without scouting, he could fall prey to this ambush because this Marauder, even though it might not be there. Oh, somebody supply locked themselves. Yep, that's right. SjoW decided to supply lock himself, and we do see Vikings coming onto the field. And yeah, he's really feeling the pain, and he is actually scrambling these SCVs to try to get some sort of supply down. We see more Vikings coming out to combat those Colossus that he knows is there. And for Huck, we do see more gateways coming down, so we're going to see more gateway units. And I don't know if that's really the best decision because we really see a heavy Marauder army. There are Marines mixed in there, but the Marauders are really going to be doing the damage here because if he chooses to bring any sort of armored units, I mean, you're really going to see, you know, the Marauders are going to basically double their DPS. And these Vikings are going to be able to chase off any sort of Colossus harass, even though if he does bring the army, he has. And we do actually see the SjoW killing that observer there, which is always a good call in my book. You rarely see it, but when you... I don't know about y'all, but I can see the observers. Oh, and we do have a battle coming in with 4 Colossus. We're going to see we have a good punting from the Terran player, but Huck throws down a lot of shields, and these Marauders are trying to flank to focus down these Colossus, and all the Zealots and all the troops down, and these Stalkers are trying to soak the damage. They are falling, and these Colossus are dying as well. So we see Huck retreating from the field, and he has barely any sort of army left. And yeah, 70-22. Huck is really hurting right now, and the SjoW is pressing his advantage. We have one Colossus up here really raining down some hate on these guys. They are at a human barbecue, so for all you cannibals, it's in there. And those Vikings take out that Colossus and drop because there are no longer any air units for those Vikings to kill, and these Vikings are going to soak up a lot of damage, and I don't think Huck has anything to answer this. Yeah, we see Huck throw down the GG, and that's basically it for Huck again. Huck is really having a hard time with this Marine Marauder build that the SjoW is bringing to him. The SjoW has been doing a really good job of keeping Huck's economy down in the dirt, and it's really, I mean, at the end of that game, Huck was at half, almost a third of what the SjoW was really bringing to the field. And whoa, what is this? We have a Viking pilot in a jumpsuit. I've never seen that before, and that's pretty awesome. So, wow, that's pretty cool. So props to Blizz for making those things that much more awesome. When you see a couple of shield impacts here, and that sucker, yeah, going down. So anyway, the third game in the best of 7, and Huck has no luck so far. So we're going to see what Huck does for the 5th round in this King of the Hill, and I will see you guys there.